picked up this Miller Falls 2A down at the estate sale barn. Usually the thing that's wrong with them is this cap is missing or broken, and this one's in pretty good shape. Could use some scraping and a new coat of varnish, but all in all, pretty good shape. This other one that I bought, somebody spilled something on that or hit it with a torch or did something to it, but kind of screwed it up. It's also just a little bit different. I don't know if it's newer or older or what, but it's a little bit different. The big difference is this one works. Chuck jaws are all good. This one, on the other hand, is locked up tight in a drum. Chuck won't move, crank won't move, these little wheels here won't rattle at all. So I'm thinking it's got something wrong in the shaft. Either it got water in it and it corroded, or somebody left it out. Got humidity, water basically, or something happened. It got hot or beat up or dumped in the dirt. I don't know. But whatever they were doing, they were drilling that size hole when it quit going. And it won't come out either. So I think first thing I'm going to do is put some 50/50 on it. Then we're going to come back and check on it and see what happens. Kind of odd that all these screws come apart, but everything else is froze up. Solid as a rock. Well, I got that to move, but these are still froze up. Time for the 50/50. The oiling holes for the shafts are plugged with something that looks like glue. I'm able to pick it out, but it's pretty gummy, almost silicone-like. Well, the chuck on this drill is just a little bit smaller than the ones that I've used before, so I need to make a new gripper. So I've measured this, and it is 1.2 1.260. And this is 1.245. So I'm going to take this brace and this number 20 bit and bore a hole in that 2x4 and use that as a vice jaw to grab a hold of the outside of that chuck on the 2A. I really do like this brace and bit. This brace is the one that I took apart and nickel plated. Wasn't really sure how the nickel plating was going to work, but it did really well. I'm very pleased. Took a little doing to get the drill bit out. This is a Samson style chuck. Patented July 5th, 1895. Solid bugger. It's got ball bearing collar on it, so it tightens real easily. And when I put the nickel plating on it, all the wear that the chuck has seen closed right up. Works really good. Very pleased with this one. This is a Greenlee number 20 bit. When I first got it, I thought, what am I going to do with a number 20? But it was big, and I thought, well, it's kind of a cool thing to have. I've used this thing so many times. It's really nice for drilling for pipes, especially going through things like a 2x4. Goes through them like a knife through butter. Now I'm just going to go down through and split this 2x4 so I get a little clamping force on it. Nice snug fit. Now that grips that chuck, but it doesn't damage the chuck. Oh, and look, the 50/50 has freed up that shaft that was jammed. That's great. Now I'll put this leather pad around that gear so I can grab a hold of it with the channel locks. See if I can't get this thing spun off of there. Piece of cake. A little overnight with some 50/50. I'm just likely to drop the drill bit out of the chuck. Still stiff. Now this is a homemade pin wrench. Doesn't quite fit the spacing on this chuck, but that's okay. I take one pin and I put it into the pocket, and then I let the other pin sit on the outside, and then I just spin it. Out she comes. drill bits out. And I'll use this dead blow because it's non-marring. And there we go, no damage done. Knurling looks just fine. And I'm able to spin the chuck apart. We'll take it over on the bench and I'll show you how it comes apart. That way I don't lose any pieces off randomly on the floor. Handy little containers. You just have to keep your eyes open. This is a box that the Swiffer pads come in. They work really nice because they're a good big size. And I can keep all the parts and pieces here and nothing gets lost. Also, if I take something apart over the top of it, even if something falls off, it stays in the little bin. Now that 50/50 has loosened this up, but it's still really stiff. And I'm not exactly sure why. It acts like something got into the bearing. Somebody tried something or put some stuff in there to maybe loosen it up. Whatever it was they used, the effect was to lock up those shafts just tighter than the dickens. This stuff separates out if you just leave it sit in the can. If you shake it up, it comes out kind of like, well, like about 30 weight oil. Let's lock this in the vise and see if I can't get this thing freed up a bit just by turning it. It isn't what I would call free, but it turns a lot easier than it did a minute ago. Somebody must have screwed this up not long after they got it, because there's no wear on this thing. If you let it sit for a minute, it stiffens right back up again. Or you turn it slowly, it stiffens right back up again. Spin it fast, no problem. Spin it slow, and it starts getting sticky. And that's some weird stuff in the bearings. Somebody has put something in there that you should never put in a bearing. And I don't know what it is, but we're going to set this thing in some acetone just by itself and see if I can't work out this, whatever it is. If the acetone and ATF are making it free up, this is not rusted. This is just full of some kind of gunk. Now let that soak for a while. After this, I'm going to need to get a new can of acetone. Old number 47 is gone now. It's found a new home at Turtle Chapel Forge. My nephew, Matt Lynd, makes knives. Some really nice knives. And he was looking for one of the treadle grinders, and when he saw on my Facebook page that I was selling old 47, he picked it up. So, I'm glad that I got it going. I'm glad that Matt's going to be using it. And if you get a chance to look on Facebook at Turtle Chapel Forge, he's got some really good stuff. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching, and we'll get back to this thing and see if I can't get that bearing loosened up. This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union, without the express written permission of the parents or legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.